It's round 10 of the EuroNASCAR Pro season at Circuit Zolder. It's the season finale of the regular season, at least. We've got the double points closer to come at the Grobnik circuit, but this is the last opportunity for people to get scores on the boards before we drop the worst two scores heading into the double points finale at Croatia. Certainly is a fabulous weekend every time EuroNASCAR arrives at Zolder. Lots for families to do, as well as watching the racing. But the racing yesterday certainly was grandstand viewing. Gianmarco Ercoli took the lead in the early stages. Admittedly, that was pretty much cut and dry from there. Gianmarco Ercoli drove away and left everyone else firmly in the dust. Sebastian Blekemolen and Patrick Lemery, though, they were scrapping further down the top five, and that allowed Liam Hazemans to go sweeping back through for fifth place. And he would just about hold off Patrick Lemery. Perhaps it got a little bit physical. Alan Day in the unfamiliar colours, the one-off appearance for Speedhouse in the number 40 car. He did not get that many points on the boards, finishing behind Alexander Graf as well. But Gianmarco Ercoli has re-established himself as potentially a championship front-runner heading into the final weekend of the year with a race win in round number 9. If he can replicate that today in round 10, then surely he would be once again one of the favourites to go up against championship leader Alan Day. So then 18 laps of racing to come for our drivers. Alan Day still in the championship lead. But some of the competition relishing the opportunity to score good points here at Zolder. Here you see the Zolder circuit. It's 2.5 miles, 4 kilometers in length. Lots of overtaking opportunities. That first sector always compelling with the fast sweeping corners. The man at the sharp end of the order, the man that will control them as they go 2 by 2 at the start of the race, is yesterday's winner, Gianmarco Ercoli. He has pole position as he had the fastest lap in Saturday's race.
Yeah, today I start from the pole position. I'm happy for this. I work hard for arrive to this result. And today I have 18 laps of qualifying, and I don't leave nothing. Today I push very hard.
There you go, a fairly easy game plan then for Gianmarco Ercoli. He's got the highly experienced Mark Goossens alongside him on the front row. The returning Anthony Kumpen also well up there at the sharp end of the order. His car was mechanically hindered yesterday, but no such problems for him today. Let's see what Kumpen can do. Vittorio Garelli also having one of his best weekends of the year. He's up at the sharp end. Both Alexander Graf and Alan Day once again with work to do towards the tail end of the field. Graf on row 5, then Alan Day on row 7, but we focus on Goossens and the man in the pink peril. That is Gianmarco Ercoli on the inside of the front row. And it is Ercoli with a nose just about ahead as they go onto the brakes in turn 1. Mark Goossens gave it a good go though. Behind him, Vittorio Garelli and Anthony Kumpen are top 4. Kumpen on his return to racing, under pressure though from Giorgio Maggi. I think Maggi may have just gotten the better of it. No, not quite. Kumpen remains in 4th place. The rest of the field goes single file through now as they become a little bit more sensible into turn 4. I'm sure a few people will make dive attempts, though, into the first of 3 chicanes throughout the layout. You saw that Alan Day rather getting kept out of proceedings there. He was trying to find a space to turn in at turn 5 and 6. Kumpen in the 24 car then, following Vittorio Garelli. Garelli there in 3rd place, but for how much longer? Because Kumpen dives to the inside. Anthony Kumpen, who has done thousands of laps here, and that's not an exaggeration. He has raced in the 24 Hours of Zolder here several times. He's raced in FIA GT here several times. And indeed, he's raced here in the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series several times over the years. He may also have some slightly fresher rubber than those around him. The tyres have to last the duration of qualifying in the 2 races. and he barely really was a factor in race number 1, so perhaps he's got some fresher Hoosier rubber. You saw there Frédéric Gabillon going off track, trying to hold off Nicolo Rocca. And Alan Day just behind that 56 car of Nicolo Rocca, but here comes Martin Dubek. Dubek making a move on Alan Day. Alan Day doesn't seem to be gelling with this Speedhouse car in quite the way he does with his regular PK Car Sport machine. He's under pressure there from Fabrizio Armetta in the Challenger Trophy. Nicolo Rocca keeping a watching brief on this through the rear-view mirror. Martin Dubek is certainly a threat, and a threat with some points to prove after the car let go on him yesterday. Top 2 getting away from Kumpen a little bit. Coley being given no respite at all. Bleekemolen in 7th place, and he's being hounded by Graf and Lemarie. Lemarie trying to get up the inside of Alexander Graf. Liam Hazeman's down there in 10th place as well. We know that when he finds himself down outside the top 5, he can very quickly rise back up through the order. Let's see if Hazeman's can do the same in this one. There's Vittorio Garelli, and just behind him, shadowing him, is Giorgio Maggi in the battle for 4th place. Sebastian Bleekemolen, who took his first win of the season last time out at Most, would be keen to get into the top 5 in race 2 in the Team Bleekemolen car. Just behind them is Alexander Graf and then Patrick Lemarie. Giorgio Maggi defensive into the chicane. Bleekemolen, another driver who has registered laps in their thousands here at Zolder. And Garelli, a former AutoGP competitor, a long-term racer now in EuroNASCAR, has had a rough season so far. This represents his best weekend of the year. Here comes Alan Day, Nicolo Rocca and Martin Dubek getting into it with each other just ahead of him in the battle for 13th place. So Alan Day currently 15th, not where we're used to seeing him. Nicolo Rocca slightly off form as well. A race winner back in Valencia, now fighting for 14th with Alan Day. I don't think either of them would have seen this coming. But Alan Day not rising through the order in the manner that he required. He may well net some bonus points compared to what he had before Zolder, once the 2 scores are dropped heading into Croatia, but I don't think this weekend is going to be exactly what he expected, unless he can really run through the order. He's side by side with Nicolo Rocca. He will make up a position as they go through the Villeneuve chicane. He's up to 14th place, but now he's going to try and close in on Martin Dubek, who has taken the opportunity to build a good few car lengths over the 3-time champ. Oh, but Day runs wide there at the Jochen Rindt box. And does that car have a problem? I think it does. Oh dear, Alan Day was just starting to make up some places, and then the brakes just seemingly weren't there for him going into the Jochen Rindt box. Meanwhile, Alexander Graf and Patrick Lemarie are still scrapping. Lemarie has gotten past Graf. Hazemans is there, so is Roman Iannetta. We ride on board with Alexander Graf, who's really fighting that 64 car. Something seems a bit amiss there. Look at how much he's fighting the wheel, and look at the lack of pace he has. He's dropping positions. I think he might have a tyre going down or something of that nature. And sure enough, a tyre being replaced now by the Speedhouse team. Oh, well, when it rains, it pours. Both of the championship top 2 heading into this weekend are under the Speedhouse umbrella for this weekend only. Come the round at Croatia, Alan Day will be back in his regular car, but we saw there Paul van Pollart in the gravel. And unfortunately, the 11 car has necessitated a safety car period. 2x2 rolling start. It's effectively another shot at the start of the race then. And often this can get a bit sticky. I think everyone will be hoping as we go into overtime that this goes smoothly. Coley still leading into turn 1. Kumpen in second place. Oh, but Garelli tags Goossens, and the field goes scattering to try and avoid everything going on there. Hazemans has ended up in the gravel. Dubeck and Lemarie both with damage. Hazemans being pushed away from the scene of the incident. And that leads to the end of the race under full course yellow, and it will be Vittorio Garelli, it will be Gianmarco Ercoli that takes the win ahead of Kumpen and Bleekemolen. It will be Vittorio Garelli that has a lot to answer for after that tag there on Mark Goossens. Kumpen getting a podium on his first weekend back in EuroNASCAR, but it's Gianmarco Ercoli with the double win and firmly back into championship contention. What a result for the CAAL team, the Cal Racing team.
I'm happy for this work, for me, for the team, for my sponsor. It's fantastic. Today is very fantastic. The race is very hard because Mark go very fast. I wanted this because I and Mark are very friends, and in the other years, Mark here go always very fast. So I watching my moments. I push very hard. Good race. I don't like finish with safety car, but very big crash in the first turn. So good. I wanting only Grobnik.
Good to hear sporting sentiments there from Gianmarco Ercoli, who is firmly back into championship contention after this one. A good run from the driver of the 44, Joni Rautjärvi. He takes the Juniors and Challenger Trophy, going to that man Fabrizio Armetta. Those are the championship leaders at the moment. Alan Day still there at the sharp end in the overall title. I think he might be happy to be in the 24 again. Come Croatia, it's double points. Anything can happen in the season finale, but Gianmarco Ercoli has once again established himself as a contender in the 2022 EuroNASCAR Pro Championship.